Hi Gemini, welcome to your solar and lunar eclipse reading for October 2023. I like doing it this way better. Everyone's going to give you like some sort of monthly reading, but I feel like these transits are where we need to focus. So, okay, King of Pentacles. So first up, let's talk about whomever it is in your mind that you have built up into some sort of dollar green fantasy. This is a real person or someone in your head that you are just absolutely sure is the answer to all your prayers, and you feel like you have a connection with them, and you definitely feel like they're coming back around, and you feel like there's so much potential there. You have dreams about it, you have thoughts about it all the time. People are telling you to stop obsessing about it. You are not listening. This is going to come up at the solar eclipse, but let's keep going. Let's see what the cards say. I don't even want to really get into the astrology yet. Changing it up. Always got to change it up. Okay. So I think that part of the reason we're hanging on to some sort of fantasy about said King of Pentacles is because it's so much easier than dealing with the truth of this, which is that you're not compatible, even if this person is really in your life, or you just keep obsessing about them, dreaming about them, wishing that it was them. They wouldn't be compatible even if they were around. This person, whomever it is that you've built up like this, is not compatible with you. And the solar eclipse, this reading is for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, Gemini Moon. You're going to get some, just like basic stuff out of this, but really this is Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, sorry. For Gemini Rising, what we have to understand is that this solar eclipse is in your 5th house. What does that mean? So it's creativity, it's children, it's romance, it's flirting, it's love affairs, it's... Can we clean all this gunk out and see things as they really are, so we can get somebody in here that you could actually have fun with, that could actually be here with you? Can we do that? But first you gotta face that whatever is in there, in that closet of bones, that love closet. First you have to face that whatever's in there needs to be cleaned out, which means that you're gonna have to look at it, and the solar eclipse is gonna put it in your face and say, hey, accept this. Accept that this person, whether you built them up in your mind, or if they're really around and the idea of them is so much better than the reality, just accept the fact that this person is not the one. Even though, like, to you, they really seem like they are. You've been obsessing. You're like so sure that this is the time to like get back in touch. You're so sure this is when you should like start this up again. It's definitely not. So our ruling planet is in Libra. So what does that mean for us along with this solar eclipse? What does it mean? Well, your love life gets very turbulent and you feel like you have all the right words. You feel like you have all the right words to make it okay, to get what you want, to figure this out in your favor. But guess what? I don't think there is so much to figure out as much as there is to just like learn and absorb and nod your head and take it in. There's not much to argue about with this solar eclipse. It's going to tell you what's good. It's like, hey, will you get this like nonsense and this riffraff out of here? So because you have the potential astrologically right now to meet somebody that you could have a very long-term, stable, happy relationship with. There's a bunch of Geminis everywhere right now going, whoa, stable, happy relationship. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I want this wild ass person that I've been dreaming about, and you're telling me that I should just let it go, because I'm not gonna let it go, because I don't give a fuck with this solar, because you know what, there's a version of me and a version of that person that could totally be together, and I am mercurial, and if that means that I need to like go to hell to go get that person, I'll go get them, but like honestly, don't tell me, Amber, that no, because you know how we are, and I can't believe you even said that. I'm just trying to tell you the astrology. But, and however, when things don't work and you have to let them go because they don't work, you can let them go, or you can change and keep holding on to what you were holding on to, but you change so fundamentally that that thing comes to you. Are we doing toxic TV? Let's do toxic TV. That's a reference to something we do on the lives on Instagram and on Patreon. So how do you change this? Okay, so you told us, let me put these down for a second. So you told us that this doesn't work, it's not compatible with us, and we should let it go. Cool. But there is this transformational card, this death card that pops up, the Scorpio energy that's waiting in the wings. And actually, you know, as of the 23rd, the sun is there in Scorpio. As of the 12th, Mars is there. So Scorpio says, you know, I don't care if the road is hard. Scorpio says, I like that the road is hard. The more you tell me that I can't do something, the more I want to do it. So we will have this push with Mars and Scorpio to be like, cool, you're telling me that it can't be done. You're telling me, okay, well, even Umbra told me that I can't do it. It can't be done. I should just let this person go. But Mars and Scorpio will be like, where there is a will, there is a way. We can do this if we want to. So since that Scorpio card has made an appearance, since that energy would like, you know, to be like, hey, there is this way to do it. There is a way to do it. There absolutely is a very headstrong way to do it. But it's not what you would think. The cool thing about Scorpio energy is that they understand how to be very direct and very headstrong while still being like really behind the scenes and subtle. So how do they do it, and what and why does it make them such masters at manifestation? I'm glad you asked. So the thing with making things happen that you want to happen is that you don't necessarily make them happen. You make yourself a magnet for those things to happen to you. So you're not actually going out there and exerting any sort of effort in terms of doing that thing or getting that thing, but you are exerting quite a lot of effort in becoming a person that those things would naturally come to. So what you've been doing up until now, real or imaginary, is not working. Whether you're chasing this person in your mind or romantically, or you're already with them and you can't believe it and you just keep like ragging on them because you want even more affirmation, assurance, whatever's going on with you. What you need to do is stop and reset. And your reset is basically looking at yourself and being, and you're capable of this, being really honest with yourself and saying, okay, what are the things that people have been telling me for years and years? It could be structural things in your body. It could be something about your health. It could be something about your appearance. It could be something about your education. It could be something about your vocabulary, your table manners, your whatever, what have you, the way you are at work. What are the things that people have been telling me, even people I dislike, that I know I should change, that I should work on, that aren't even that difficult to change, but somehow I feel like these deficiencies are part of my personality that make me who I am. We're moving out of that childish space. We no longer, this only happened very recently, but we're no longer identifying ourselves with our shortcomings, our mistakes, our wilder moments. You know, we're not in need of any of that to help define us. We're not seeking out that sort of larger than life behavior in the same way. We're quite content being what we are, whatever that is. That in and of itself is enough, you know? So if something isn't working, you can become a person that attracts that thing that right now is so elusive. The first thing you do is stop chasing it. Physically, mentally. And then you become this receptive. Receptivity, as it says in the I Ching, is a lost art. Very much associated with the feminine, very much associated with the dark, very much associated with the void space where everything is possible. This being a beautiful representation of a space where all sorts of manifestation is possible. You become the attractor. You pull like a tractor beam, like on Star Trek. How do you do it? How do you become attractive to the thing that you've been chasing for a while now? How do you jump out of that identity into becoming the thing that that person would want, or that job would want, or that money would want to come to? You figure out what makes you feel this whole and magnanimous, what makes you feel this good about you. Where are those moments in time and behavior where you find yourself, where you find yourself lost in a kind of reverie of loving yourself and just digging how you are, having fun with yourself, laughing at your own fucking jokes, loving your own taste in music, singing along with your own shit, like reading your own work back to yourself, reading your own words back to yourself, recounting your best moments back to yourself or back to your friends. Where are those moments where you truly feel valuable and worthy according to your own metrics? Because that's what's important, is that by your metrics that you feel good. Because there is no objective metric out here that you need to live up to before the universe will give you what you want. This idea that you have to live up to some external objective frequency or way of being to acquire or to be blessed by the universe, whatever you think, right, or whatever you believe, that's not it. It's by what you think of you, not by, and I think that's a really important switch. Most of us already know this, but anyone who's cross-watching is like, whoa, yeah. I think that's why Geminis are so very successful, is that their own opinion of themselves is very high, and it's not based on any sort of external qualifiers, right? So if you, in those moments where you truly, because you're engaging in behavior or you're reminiscing about something or mulling something over within your character, within your experience, within your behavior, that really makes you feel good. You're exerting yourself physically, you're exerting yourself mentally, you're winning at things, you're understanding things, you're putting yourself in challenging positions, whether you're reading something challenging or taking a course or challenging your body or whatever it is. When you have those moments of winning and feeling really good and feeling really valuable to yourself and feeling that elation that comes with it, try to bottle those moments. Try to remember that feeling and stay in that feeling for as long as you can, but also remember now that feeling is something that you can continuously create within yourself just for no fucking reason, because who's going to stop you? And when you do so, you're going to attract a lot more than what you thought you wanted. I'll tell you that, first of all. And hopefully you'll attract so much that the thing you wanted is just one more pebble that's washing up to the beach, and you can kind of look at it and say, you're not so shiny anymore, are you? The point is, if something is elusive right now, if something is getting away from you, it's time to stop and look around and look in the mirror and look at yourself really hard and say, why am I chasing, first of all? When did I stop attracting? And when you start to chase, everything about you changes. The way you are, the way you breathe, the way you move, the way you dress. You just turn into more of a predator than anything, and it's not attractive. See what I did there? Okay, so we have a lot more to talk about. We have more cards to shuffle through. We have to talk about the lunar eclipse. We have to talk about work. We have to talk about Gemini rising when it comes to work. And how the lunar eclipse affects your health and wellness. But that's a lot of stuff still to cover, and I feel like I don't want the extendeds to get redundant. I want you to get like new information and stuff we didn't talk about in the general at all. So let's do the lunar eclipse, health and wellness, and work post October 23rd in the extended, which will be on Patreon or Vimeo. And there's a feature now on Patreon where you can just buy a digital asset. You can buy a digital product. So it's very secure, it's very safe, and you can just watch it right on there or download it. It's cool. So that link will be below as well as tickets to Dubai if you're interested, and a link for personal readings. If you are interested in becoming a private client, I am opening up just a few spots, like 2 or 3, depending, and I will leave my email address below, and you can contact me privately and we can talk about it. Okay? Love you. Before I go, you know that we can do anything, because unlike everybody else, the reason we look the way we look and the reason we are the way we are is because we understand that time isn't real. And so people think we're childish, people think we look too young for our age, blah, blah, blah. It's because time isn't real. If time isn't real, then jumping around to be exactly where you want to be, to have exactly what you want, to attract exactly what you want is really easy. So that thing you do already all the time, you just need to do it all the time. Get it? You just need to do it in terms of dimensions, not just in terms of time. Just like you can jump around in time, slow it down, speed it up, make it kind of stop. You know what I'm talking about. You can do that with space as well, not just time. Think about it. We'll talk about it more. Patreon. Love you. Hi Gemini, welcome to your extended. So we're just switching things up since we're talking about lunar eclipse, and since we're still shuffling, you can still see me, hello, and then we'll turn the attention to the cards. 6 of Cups is up first. When it comes to this lunar eclipse, you're going to figure out exactly where you want to spend your money, exactly where you don't want to spend your money, and for some of you, that's going to mean helping out somebody that you love. You're coming to your senses about your feelings, and you're